Welcome to Every Generic Halo Heroes Spartan Episode 4. How many of you guys forgot that this was a series? I did not forget that it was a series. However, just a lot of other videos took precedence, but I do want to continue this. And for those of you who may not know what the first 3 episodes were, let me give you a quick rundown, and also I'll pop the card up in the corner for you to go and watch episode 1. Basically, I'm going through and every unnamed Halo Heroes Spartan, basically the one that is not an official character in universe, will be in this list, and I'm trying to find what is the absolute best of the generic Spartans, because Mega does a lot of cool stuff with those generic Spartans. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going through the figures from series 11 and 12 to figure out which of these 5 is the best to move on to the next round. Starting off, we have the series 11 CQC Spartan, and this dude is honestly one of my favorites. It's just that combo of brown and tan is really good. I love the CQC armor. I think it looks fantastic, and he's using the June kind of netting, camo netting on the kind of neck area, and then also the chest plates printed. It's just a very low-key Spartan. The visor is done in blue, which is, again, kind of a low-key, low contrast, but it looks good. Unfortunately, a lot of these figures suffered from really poor visor prints, which is a bummer. There is actually some black print on the front. It's kind of hard to see. There is black print, though. Again, low contrast, very low contrast. And he comes armed with a concussion rifle, which is pretty much identical to that of the Spartan Vector from the previous Halo Heroes series, or not the previous one. Vector was in series 7, I want to say. Either way, though, I am happy to see this exact paint scheme return because it's a really good paint scheme. I think it's pretty much the definitive concussion rifle, at least in my opinion. For those of you who don't have one of these, the little drum here can turn, and it could even come out if you wanted it to. I don't really see any reason to take it out, but you could take it out. Then, yeah, I think that's pretty much the rundown of this guy. He's got those shoulders. I don't remember what those are called, but Noble 6 uses them. Mega uses them for Noble 6 all the time. And overall, it just looks really good. The second unnamed Spartan from Series 11 is this Spartan Operator. And this dude, believe it or not, used to be my sig fig, my channel mascot. He never really got to channel mascot status because I wasn't really doing videos as much. I had just started getting into the Mega Construx scene when this series came out. And this dude caught my eye. I just liked the red. I liked the Operator. And also, I think this might have been the debut of this newer Splazer. I'm not totally sure. But yeah, I just really like this. Although mine ended up looking like this. This was me. I changed the visor because I thought silver looked better. And then I weathered the absolute heck out of him and then gave him a matte top coat. And I still like this look to this day better than I like the actual default one, just because the default one, the head, actually, honestly, the whole thing was a little too bright. I think if it was toned down to dark red and yellow, that would have been fine. But as it is, the head was almost translucent because of how red it was. So I just weathered the heck out of it to get around that, which is something I've been tempted to do with the Spartan Yoroi, although the Yoroi is so rare that I don't know that I really want to do that. But that aside, this Blazer is really nice. Let's see, can we get it to focus? There we go. Really nice Blazer. Got a little UNSC print on there. This was when Mega really started ramping up their print, I feel. This was just, I don't know, something about this. The extra little UNSC detailing and whatnot is so good. And this mold is fantastic. It actually works the way it should. The Spartan himself has the printing on the chest, which is great. He's even got the little darker stripes to show that he's got those straps on the belt. And then we've got some print on that arm, that funny T shape. And, of course, the print on the head for the Operator helmet. Visor looks pretty good. This guy has earned the McDonald's Spartan title. We've got a couple with the McDonald's Spartan title, but this one I think maybe is more McDonald's than the other ones. Although I do like it, it's just a bit loud and a bit toyish. It is a great figure, but I am biased with mine a bit because mine looks like this. And I would say that this looks a little bit better, just overall. However, he does have one of the best accessories in terms of weapons. Halo Heroes Series 12. That was a lot of hype around a Halo Heroes series. This was the first Halo Infinite Heroes series, and there was a lot of interesting things introduced, including the Mark 7 Spartan pieces. That was a new waist unit, new shoulders, a new chest plate, and a new head, as well as new weapons, which we are still getting new weapons from Infinite. This is one of the best Bulldog designs. The Halo Heroes Bulldogs are fantastic, but this one's just really good. It's got all the little rivets and stuff all over it. Pretty much perfect. And then, of course, we have the Scorpion Punch Spartan himself. Now, this is not actually accurate to Scorpion Punch in the game because Scorpion Punch in the game is more of an orange than this, and the head is not all red. It's got a red stripe in the middle, and it's in gray. But that being said, I think this looks fantastic. I don't think that the inaccuracy hurts it any. We've got very low contrast prints on the chest. We've got a little bit of print here and here, which I will say there is weird variants where there's not arm print. There are two types out there. It's not really a quality control issue so much as they actually just left the print off. Overall, though, the production level for these figures in particular have been pretty good. I've had like 4 of them over the span of the last couple of years, maybe 5. I've sold some of them, given some of them away, traded some of them away, and have some for parts, but they all have looked pretty darn good. I've had like 1 with a bad head, but other than that, pretty darn good, and this is still one of my favorite Mark 7s to date. The next Series 12 Spartan is the Spartan Gungir. Now, I could be remembering incorrectly, but I believe this was the first time that we've gotten the Gungir helmet, at least the Reach version of the Gungir helmet. I'm trying to think if there was any figures before this guy, and I really don't think that there was. I think this was when Mega introduced it, and it was a great introduction. It's a really well done helmet. We've got the stripe, we've got the little eyeball, got some gray print and the green print on there. There's just a lot going on. We've got that... was it the sap something harness with all the shells again with that little T shape, although not quite as done well. That little gap in the middle is missing, which is odd. And I think all of them were that way. I don't think any of them had that gap, but we've got some more print on this side with the strap. The colors used here are really good, very Reach looking. The main thing that I dislike about this Spartan is the use of this arm. Yes, it's a new color for that arm, but that arm is just terrible. Mega, please, please, please stop using this. Please give us a new arm that actually works and actually doesn't break all the time. We also got, we also got the Mangler. I can never get them right. Mangler. Mauler's the other one. Mangler. For a Halo Heroes weapon, this is fairly lackluster, although I do like the scratching on the blades, but I do think it could have used some extra print. Oh, there is also the bullet spots in the drum, but it's very hard to see, and I don't know that that really counts. I think could have used a little bit more print. So it's a great figure, just that arm kind of is a drawback, and the weapon could have been done a little better. So this guy is really interesting. This is the first time we had gotten the Halo Reach Scout, which is a very narrow helmet. It's kind of an acquired taste. I understand some people don't like it. I myself am a little bit mixed. I think sometimes it looks good and sometimes it doesn't. And also Mega did something weird with this guy. They did silver dry brushing just on the blue, not on the orange. So I don't really know what they were going for here. And I also don't know if this was supposed to be like concept version of the blue Rampage coating or if it was just Mega doing their own thing. But I do like this guy. I think this guy is cool. I like the silver visor. I like the print on the chest. The AR that he has is pretty much the definitive Halo Infinite AR. And actually my SDCC Infinite Chief is using one because the one that came with the set was very messed up. And the silver dry brushing. The silver dry brushing is weird, but I like it. Also, we've got some lights or white print on the arms. Yeah, I don't really know what they were going for here. I really don't. It looks great, but I don't know what they were going for. I've used this guy in one of my favorite photos. I just titled it Run. I might pop it up on the screen. You guys have seen it before. So I'm a little bit partial to this guy. However, I do know that a lot of you guys weren't a huge fan. And that's understandable. He's very loud. Not maybe quite as loud as this guy, but he is very loud. So I can't fault you there. This guy also tended to have misprints for the helmet. I've had also a handful of these guys. The back of this one is kind of crooked, but overall I'd say this one's pretty darn good. But I've seen some with the visors all wonky. And yeah, that happens on all Spartans. Like all Spartans have that potential, but this guy seemed to have gotten it more often than not. Overall, though, I still think this is a pretty cool figure, and I have honestly thought about getting some more to weather them up and make them look kind of like that. All right, so we've gotten a quick look at all 5, and now we need to determine which one will move on to the next round because we're doing this tournament style. Each round gets a Spartan pulled out, and then the last video, the finale, will be all of the best Spartans going head-to-head to see which one comes out absolutely on top. So we're going to do process of elimination here, and the first one to be eliminated will be the operator. Despite how cool the operator is, I gotta say the color scheme is just a little too loud to be considered the best. The translucency of the head is a little bit weird, and despite that great weapon, he's gonna have to be escorted out. So now we have 4. And then I think the next one that's going to go will be the Gungir. As much as I love Gungir, this figure just needed a better weapon and a better arm to make it into the top. Now we've got 3. And out of the 3 here, I think we will eliminate this guy next. I personally really like him, but the general opinion that I've seen is that he's one of the lesser popular figures from the Infinite Wave, and I do like him a lot. It's just I've heard people saying that he's also too loud, and I kind of can understand that, so he will be eliminated. And now we come down to the really hard part, because these two are both fantastic figures, like absolutely brilliant figures. But I gotta say, in terms of looks, in terms of overall production quality, and just everything, this guy is going to have to be eliminated. Series 11 was a little rough quality-wise. Like this guy's joints are kind of stiff, and his shoulder armor liked to fall off a lot. Also, you can see this weapon bobbles in his hand a lot. It doesn't really come out. It just spins a lot. So it's a little weird. And like I said, a lot of these guys, when you got them, their visor would be painted in the very center and not to the edges. I got like 2 of these guys and have had that issue. This is the best one that I've come across. And I also saw these guys in stores, so I could see that. So that means the winner of this round is the Scorpion Punch Mark 7. And yes, I know I'm biased for Mark 7, but you got to admit that is a clean Spartan. He also has a lot of pop and swap capabilities, because he does match some of the other Spartans we've gotten, and that gray is just really useful in general. You can also make a solid red Mark 7 with other pieces, and overall it's just really well done. There's a little bit of crooked printing on the top, and like I said, I've seen other ones where there's kind of odd printing, but the visor is done really well, and for the most part, the figures I see are painted really well. Also, he's got a nice weapon. So he is going to the next round. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.